Hello everyone. In this video we're going to talk about the least common denominator of rational expressions. And the reason we need to do this is in order to add or subtract rational expressions we have to have a common denominator. So if they don't have a common denominator we need to find one. So let's walk through how we find the least common denominator of rational expressions. First thing that we are going to do is we're going to factor each denominator completely. So if you look at this is x squared minus 4. This is, well, of course, when we factor this into two binomials, and I'll just kind of draw an arrow to keep us on track here. We're going to make our two binomials. Our x is going to go in the front. And then what are our two values that go back on the back ends of these binomials? Well, this is just the difference of two squares, right? There's no b term here. So we essentially need to find two numbers that multiply together to give us -4, but when we add them, give us 0. Well, that's just going to be a +2 and a -2. So now that is completely factored. And we want to factor this denominator as well. So again, setting up our two binomials. X is going to go on the front to give us that x squared. What two numbers multiplied together give us 12, but when we add them give us -8. If you can think for a little bit, maybe you have an idea. So those would be -6 and -2. Again, walking through that, -6 times -2 gives us +12. And when we add -6 and -2, that gives you -8. And again, these two expressions are the same, right? This is just in factored form. These two binomials multiplied together, so if you were to distribute or FOIL this out, you would get the same denominator. So these are the same expressions, they're just, this one's written in factored form. From here, to find our least common denominator, we're going to multiply all the different factors together, okay? So if we have the same factor in each one, we are going to use the one that has the greatest exponent. So I always like to just start left to right. So our first factor here is going to be x plus 2. All right, I'm going to cross that out. Is there an x plus 2 over here? Nope, there's not. So we can just move on to the next one. Here we have an x minus 2. So I'm going to cross that out because we used it. Hey, and there's one over here as well. Since they both have an exponent of 1, we don't need to have another one in there. So we can cross this one off as well. They each have a factor of x minus 2, and we only need to have it in there one time. And then the final factor here is x minus 6. So kind of messy, but after factoring the denominators and multiplying the unique factors together, here is our least common denominator for these two rational expressions.